Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world. Here we are once again on a Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 12 midnight, right on the dot, 2 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. We want to welcome you to another edition of Talk Back Live, and we're going to be with you for the whole hour. We're here each week at this time, and together, as we gather around, we share conversation together. That's right. You and I share it with other people that may come in as well. And we talk about anything under the sun. That's what the show is all about. That's why we call it Talk Back Live, talking back live to you. It's so great to have you aboard with us as we mosey along for another Thursday. We're coming up to the weekend pretty soon, just before you know it. It just only seems like yesterday we were here, ushering another weekend in, and here we go. Right here again. Well, we're so glad to have you aboard with us. We want you to stay with us if you possibly can for the whole full hour. You may be a lot of places right now because right now we're all over the world. We're global. All right. We come to you any place you can be. We're right there. And you may be someplace where your time zone is different. So we urge you to look at your clock right now in case you're the first time here, first time viewer. Look at your clock because that's what time we come on in your area each week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We got a lot of things to do, a lot of things to talk about. And all of that said, if you have anything in particular that you would like to talk about, because as a person that will open the show, and I'm referring to the people who may be here for the very first time, because we have people that's been here all of the time since the beginning, and we want to thank you for that. But for those of you, as I get started, opening up the show right now, this is what we call the prep time. So while I'm prepping, you at any time can join in right now by letting your fingers do the walking on your keyboard, on your computer, your cell phone, and even your pad, your iPad, and of course your the other devices that you may use, the tablets, and all of that, right? Just type in whatever you want to talk about. I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. That's what the show is all about. It's free exchange of ideas and of opinions. And I think you have a lot of those too. Everyone is opinionated about something. And, you know, the good thing about this show that I like about this show, that we can get a chance to talk about everything and we don't leave out. Of course, we want to make it clean as we talk, but it's open forum. You can talk about anything you want. So keep that in mind. Tell all your family and friends about it. If you're watching us for the first time, if you're watching us on Facebook in particular, take time out to tag this very show to your friends. You can do that. Now, you may have a lot of friends on your account, and maybe there are too many to tag them all, but you may want to tag some tonight, or maybe the next time around, a few more. And then as the weeks go on, a few more and a few more. And then they'll follow you. They'll see that tag is coming from you, and all they have to do is just click on to it, and it brings them directly to where you are right now. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for all of you to tag all of your friends and let them know that we're out here. We're on 3 different places, by the way, not just Facebook. We're also on YouTube and Instagram. And for those of you who are on YouTube watching us, take the time right now to subscribe to us. I always encourage that people who are watching us on YouTube to take time to subscribe to us. There's a little subscribe button right there before you. All you have to do is drag your mouse, point the arrow right to it, and click on to it. That's the left click. And that's it. There's no financial situations involved. All you have to do is just click on that. Lets us know that you're out there for us. And if we can get a lot of viewers, we always do that. Not only if you're watching us and you click on and subscribe to us, we also want you to give us some likes too. You know, that lets us know a lot of things. That gives us a lot of things. And the reason why we also want you to subscribe to us is because of the fact that, as I said, we see all of you people come out here. We want to find out how many people are actually following us. You know, you're a free member. That's it. We don't never ask for money. Never do. And the second reason why we want you to do that is because right from here on in, as you already clicked on to subscribe to us, I hope you did. We want you to know that you can be part of the action when you click on, and you'll also know that every time we come on live or any other activity on the page, you'll get an instant notification. Now, I'll give you an example. Now, first of all, let's say for next week you come on, if you're here for the first time and you come on, you forgot about the show, but you happen to be online, right? Because of the fact that you have subscribed to the YouTube channel, you get an instant notification. It'll pop right up there, and all you have to do is click onto that instant notification and brings you right over to the page, right? And it could be not just when we come on live. It could be, we could pop up at any time because maybe we did something like post a video or some kind of still photo or anything, any kind of activity goes on, it gives you instant notification, and you can just click on and find out what it's all about. So please do that. Tell your family and friends too to click on. We really urge you, get acquainted with my Facebook page. I want, even if you're watching us on the other platforms such as Instagram and Facebook, I don't care. But what I want you to do is get acquainted with my YouTube channel. I need you to do that. That's very important to me. You know, you can continue to watch on any platform you want, but please get acquainted with my YouTube channel. Really would appreciate that. And Instagram people, you don't have to do anything in particular. The only thing that you have to do is keep passing the word forward to your family, friends, and relatives, and let them know that we're out here. And you YouTubers and you Instagrammers, right? You can do exactly what the people of Facebook do. They tag their friends, they tag the show to their friends, and you can do something similar. All you have to do is cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on right now. That link, all you have to do is cut and paste that and send it to each and every one of your friends, if not all, maybe one or two or whatever. The more the merrier. If they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they'll come back again and again. We would like you to do that. Just cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on and send it to your friends. Simple as that. And that covers everything. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining us. We want to say hi to all of you guys, Facebook, YouTubers, and Instagrammers. Stay with us for the whole full hour. Now, those of you who are here and you can't stay with us the full hour, and we hope that's not the case. We hope you can stay with us for the full hour. But if you can't, it's very important that you were here with us, and we appreciate the time that you can give to us. But for those of you who can stay with us, we really would appreciate that. As I say, we're all around the world. I don't care where you are. You can be in another next door, or you can be on the other side of the world where there's daylight. Over here it's nightlight. Right? You could be anywhere over there, and you could be, as long as you're in an area where there's great Wi-Fi and a hot spot. And I don't mean the desert, because you're not going to get anything out there. There's nobody out there who hangs out in the desert anyway, right? But any other place where you can be, any other country, any other continent, we're right there. The only thing that you have to do is apply yourself and become a member and watch us each week as we get together and do that for you. Okay? So there you go. We have it right there, and stay with us. Now remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any other platform like your social media platform or broadcast platform. So it's all covered right there. Yes, it is March. March Madness is here as well. Brian Camp is going to be along with us in just a few minutes to talk about that and other sports, because he comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And when he comes in, he'll give us all that information. And if you have any sports-related information or sports-related questions for him, he'll be glad to answer the questions for you. Okay? So all of that's coming up. We'll be talking about all of that. And that's coming up in just a few minutes from now in this particular half hour, not just too long from now. So hang around for that. You're not going to want to miss that. Also later in the program, we've got this day in history. We've got a laundry list of what happened on this day in history. Now, today is the 20th of March, And it's a history making day. We're going to find out what went on that day, March 20th, and what year. That's coming up for you. I'll be reciting all of that for you. That's coming up later on. And before the show is over, of course, you know, the weekend is coming up, you know, and each weekend I do my research, alternate classic movies. Those classic movies I love, and I like to give you what I have, because I have my picks of the week. I go there and I pick out the ones that I think are worth watching for the weekend. You could add it to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. And this weekend, you may be doing a lot of things, you know, and one of the things that you may want to do is catch up on some movies. Now, depending on where you are, the weather may be great. Maybe you don't want to watch movies. You want to do something else. And maybe you're in an area where the weather is going to be inclement for the weekend and it's going to keep you indoors. That's a good time to catch up on some movies, right? So I have all of those movies coming up. And of course, being that you're so resourceful, the way I know you are, you can find other things that are coming up too, as far as movies are concerned. There's so many things to look forward to. And we've got that coming up for you right here on Talk Back Live. Yes, it is March, and it's the middle of the March. And it's coming up to the end, and we're quickly coming up to the end of March. Before you know it, it'll be April, and the 1st of April, April Fools. How many people are going to fall for that gag? That'll be coming up. But we got to get by this particular month. We want to make sure that we get by this particular month and make sure that everybody knows that, hey, you know, this is March. We're going to talk about sports and all of those things. Baseball is right around the corner as well. You know, pretty soon we've got, I think it's like 7 days from now, 7 days before opening day. I believe that is. Brian will straighten me out about that, but I believe it's 7 days before opening day. And so all of that is coming up, and we'll let you know more about that. Now, this month of March, as you already know, we celebrate a few things. And one of the things that we're celebrating right now is Irish American Heritage Month, all month long in March. Now, we already had St. Patrick's Day that happened on Monday. And they did exactly what I told you that we're going to do. We had inclement weather for St. Patrick's Day. The weather was wet here in New York. But they marched. They prevailed. They went out there and they did their thing. And so because they're New Yorkers, you know, we don't let anything stop us from what we want to do. And so that's what we had. But for the rest of the month is still studying, and we're still acknowledging Irish American Heritage Month. Now, if you're Irish, and you don't have to be Irish, but if you know any activities other than the parade that we just had here in New York and other places, maybe there's other activities you want to inform the community about, you can do it right here on this platform, and we'd be happy to, or you can do it yourself, right? But I could announce it right there and let other people know all about it, okay? Also, it's National Women's History Month. Now, you know, women have done a lot of great things for this country. You know, we celebrate that. And you don't have to take, it doesn't have to take a month to do that, to celebrate women. So we can do that all year round, but this is a month that's set aside for it, and we should acknowledge it. So many great things are happening. And if you know of a woman, she doesn't necessarily have to have high notoriety. She could be just the ordinary person in your neighborhood, and she's done something outstanding. Let us know about it. We want to put her out there, give her her fame, give her her due, give her her flowers, you know, and other things that are going on. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot. Maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your daughter that did something spectacular. We want to know about it. Let us know. Okay. So that's what we have right here. It's National Women's History Month. The Red Cross Month is upon us now, and we look on that because it's all about health. And speaking of that, it's also also celebrating National Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, along with Endometriosis Awareness Month. And we also have Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month. And those things we look out for, right? So keep that in mind. We got all of that coming up. Now today, and today only, is National Native HIV AIDS Awareness Month. Awareness Day, I should say, for the day. And so we've got that. And finally, we've got National Proposal Month. You can't make this up. National Proposal Month. Have you proposed to anyone? You want to get married? You want to commit yourself? This is National Proposal Day. So if you didn't get a chance to do it, it's still not too late. But this is the day that they recognize it. Here you go. And guess what? It's the first day of spring. It's the first day of spring, and we've got that going on. And here we are, and we're having a ball. I'm looking forward to this. The first day of spring, the weather's coming up. Before you know it, it'll be summer, and a lot of things will be happening, outdoor barbecues and all of those things. But we'll talk about all of those things later, okay? If you're just watching us, you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and we're going to be with you for the balance of the hour. So stay with us, right? Rope your friends and family in there, okay? What do we have here? Okay. Hey, thank you, guys. Okay. Emily DeQuan, Emily DeQuan, the actress best known for her titular role in the movie Rosetta, has died. DeQuan, longtime agent Daniel Gay informed the news agency AFP that the actress had died at a hospital on the outskirts of Paris, France, and that happened on Sunday, this past Sunday. Her tragic death comes less than 2 years after she revealed her rare adrenal gland cancer diagnosis in October 2023. She was 43 years old. As promised, I'm going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, right? I told you I would do that. We're going to go there because Brian Camp is with us. And being that he's with us, he's going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's going to talk about all of the things. Now, let me repeat one more time. If you have any questions related to sports or what's going on now in March Madness and all of that, he's got the answers for you. And he's celebrating it because I can see his background there. Final Four.
It's on, baby. It is on, and it is here in full effect already. Final Four, March Madness has arrived. I'll get to some of the games in a second, but I just want to say hello to everybody out there who's tuning in around the world, whether you live maybe 12 hours away, 14, 24 hours. Wherever you are, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be around the globe or around nationally or locally. My, oh my, what is finally here? This day means so much to me as a sports person. I'm glad it is here. But before we get to that, I want to say baseball already started. Opening day started on Tuesday.
Oh, I must have read some kind of on Facebook. I must have read it wrong, or maybe they had the post up there at a later time. I didn't read what day they posted it, but it said 7 days before. Okay, I knew you would straighten me out.
Yeah,
I knew.
I mean, a lot of people don't know. In recent years, Major League Baseball starts overseas. So, the world champion LA Dodgers started to defend their crown in Japan against the Chicago Cubs. That's what happened. So it started March 18th and 19th, which was a Tuesday and Wednesday. The Dodgers won the first 2 games already. So, they're getting off to a quick start. Besides, the other 2016 will celebrate opening day on Thursday, March 27th, a week from today. Originally, every team was slated to be in action on that date. However, everybody is going to be starting their, everybody else except for one game, 2 teams. The Colorado Rockies and the Tampa Bay Rays matchup that was moved back today to March 28th to allow more time to prepare for George M. Steinbrenner Fielding Stadium. That's the new stadium where the Tampa Bay Rays will be playing at, because that facility is the spring training of the Yankees, will serve as the Tampa Bay Rays, because due to the 2025 damage that Tropical Field sustained during the Hurricane Milton last October. So that's why it's going to start a day after, the 28th. So the 26 other teams will start a week from today. And then the last two teams, because of the hurricane, their new stadium will be George M. Steinbrenner Stadium, because their home stadium is being repaired, which is Tropical Field, because of the hurricane that happened. So that's why baseball has 3 dates. So there you have it. So I hope I cleared it up. But that's the story. And baseball originally started now. So we could so listen, you all got a good head start now. You got baseball already started. You got March Madness in full effect. Already there was an upset. Clemson, who is the 5th seed, got knocked off by the 12th seed, McNeese State, earlier today. Now, the game started at 12 noon. These games started at 12 noon. The first day of Thursday and Friday are really the opening rounds. And they start at 12 noon. They don't end until like 12:30 at night. That's why it's called March Madness, because there's a round of 68 teams. So as we get through this weekend, it dwindles down more and more. But right now, the action has already started. Don't touch that dial until this show is over, okay? This show got to end first. If there's any updates, I might sneak in and just give it to you. But right now, don't touch that dial. You stay right here with us. Now, in the NBA, comedian and actor Tracy Morgan says food poisoning was the blame for his taken ill during Monday's game at Madison Square Garden between the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. The game was interrupted midway through the third quarter because Morgan was escorted out at Madison Square Garden with a wheelchair, but he is doing fine. He had some health issues a couple of years back, was in a serious truck accident a couple of years back, but he's doing fine now. So, we're going to make sure that we keep him in prayer and everything and hope all is well. The NFL draft is going to start April 24th through the 26th on ESPN, and it will be held at Green Bay, Wisconsin. So a lot of NFL teams, you check your teams, who they're going to pick. Well, we don't know who's going to pick who, but there's some prominent names that's up for the first round draft pick. So we still got football, we got baseball, basketball is in full effect as we come down to the last 15 or 17 games left in the NBA season before they start their playoffs. So this is the time of the year where a lot of sports, a lot of action. Let's throw in hockey too. Hockey is more of a playoff sport, but hockey is going to be tense as well too during this time of the year with March Madness. And we didn't forget about the women. March Madness is here for the women too. That's right. And speaking of the women and the men's top seeds, let me give you those seeds now. The women's top seeds is UCLA, South Carolina, USC, and Texas. For the men's is Auburn, Duke, and Houston, and Florida. Those are the top 4 seeds for the NCAA tournament, March Madness. You could check them out all this weekend from now until Sunday. Now, speaking of college basketball, ESPN commentator Dick Vitale became emotional last week while talking about his most recent cancer battle. You got to understand something. This man has fought cancer 4 times. 4 times. Now, Vitale, he has last announced his last game in December and was cancer-free. But it's been like 3 years. It's 4 times he's been battling cancer for 3 years. with this here disease. Now, he stepped down and retiring after this at his position. He's a Hall of Famer, has been with ESPN since it launched back in 1979. That's when ESPN first came on the air. So he is no longer going to be calling games. His last game was last week, and we wish nothing but the best for him and for his family. So we just definitely keep him in our prayers. Now, this day in sports, March 20th, 1973, Roberto Clemente, right fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates, was elected into Major League Baseball Hall of Fame 11 weeks after his death. Now, if you remember 1971 on New Year's Eve, he was, let me change that. 1972, New Year's Eve, he was tragically, we lost him in a airplane crash as he was trying to do the most, he was on a missionary trip to send food and aid to one of those native countries. I think it was Nicaragua, I believe it was. And he lost his life. And, you know, this is a rare occasion when sports, in any sports, when they decide to put somebody in the Hall of Fame. After you retire, you were supposed to wait 5 years, but because it's Roberto Clemente, they did it 11 weeks after his death, and he was put into the Hall of Fame. 1989, Major League Baseball announced Reds manager Pete Rose is under investigation. And in 1990, LA Lakers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, number 33, is retired. Birthdays on this day, 1945, NBA guard, coach, and executive Hall of Famer for the Miami Heat, New York Knicks, Pat Riley was born in Schenectady, New York. 1958, Ricky Jackson, NFL Hall of Famer linebacker for the New Orleans Saints, was born in Pahokee, Florida. And in 1980, happy birthday to Jamal Crawford, NBA shooting guard, 2010 Sixth Man of the Year award, was born in Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a 52-degree night here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, but it is extremely windy.
Yeah, and you know something, the temperatures are starting to climb higher, and I'm loving it. Tomorrow here in New York, we're going to go up to somewhere around 62 degrees. So I'm not complaining about it. I'm looking forward to it. Listen, I'm glad that you brought up the Tracy Morgan story, because I did read that story early during the week. But at that particular time, when I read, they didn't give any more details afterwards. But I'm glad you updated us on that. Food poisoning. It was something that he ate at the Garden. Do you know? Can you tell us that?
They didn't say whether it was at the Garden or before he arrived at the Garden. We don't know. We don't have all those details, but you know, they had some shots, some pictures of him in the hospital. He vomited. He vomited during the game, and you know, that was a scary scene. You know, of course, everybody was huddled around him. You know, you don't want the cameras around you to see that. But yes, he got sick, and he did say it was food poisoning. We don't know. We just don't know. It could have been at the Garden. I don't know if food poisoning takes effect immediately. We just don't know. But right now, the main thing is that he is doing well. He is okay, and you just don't know about food anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that he's doing well. You know, was Spike Lee there that night? Spike Lee.
He doesn't make every game. What Spike Lee, what he do is Spike Lee. What he does, he comes to the big important games. You know,
yeah.
He does not having a good season, so you know he may not come to every big game. But you know, who knows? I'm not quite sure if he was there or not. You know, but if it's a big important game like a team that's one of the better teams in the NBA, he will be there at center court, no doubt about it. But he's the most popular celebrity at courtside at New York Knicks basketball games.
And not only that, he goes to the baseball games. I mean, listen, he owns seats. I mean, these guys, these high rollers, these top-notch guys, they buy their seats, so they're are reserved especially for them, so they can walk in there anytime.
He's a season holder ticket for the Knicks. He's been a season holder ticket for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
He goes the days of the Patrick Ewing era, and even a little bit before that as well too.
Yeah. He's always on camera too. They're gonna make sure they get him on camera. Oh boy. And he's friends with all of the guys in the Knicks team anyway. So yeah. Hey, listen, I know this is not sports. It could be sports related. But I'm pretty sure you heard on the news, and I was like I had steam coming out of my ears when I heard about this. Jackie Robinson's page was taken down because, you know, Jackie Robinson, first of all, served the country here, served in the military. But the people on the other side, and we're not going to even mention any names, took his page down because they didn't want that news out there, how he served his country. And it wasn't just Jackie Robinson, it was a lot of other people like Jackie Robinson who served the country, but they don't want the African-American stories about how they served the country. They just try to demolish all of that.
Okay, if you get a chance tonight, if you read my page on Facebook, I put up an article, not an article, but a share page from Stephen A. Smith from ESPN, where he talked about this intensely. Mm-hmm. And if you would read it, you would say, "Wow, unbelievable!" Yes, this annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah,
country. You know. What has this country become now? It's really sad. No, I'm not going to leave this country. If I don't like it, no, then leave. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But of all the things that Jackie Robinson, who was segregated from playing baseball, not only him, but many blacks, until he broke the color barrier. For them to do this, they'll show you what kind of country that we're living in. Just show you, we might as well, in some ways, I don't want to offend people, we might as well just live back into the laws of the Jim Crow laws.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the things everybody's trying to avoid right now. That it's obvious they want to take it back there.
Exactly. And listen, we're only 60 years removed of the Civil Rights Act that was signed by LBJ, by Lyndon B. Johnson, and the voters' rights. It was back-to-back years. And here we are 60 years removed from that, and this is what's happening. This is what's happening. I think about people like Bill Russell. Bill Russell played for the city of Boston. Now, I don't know what Boston is like now, but I can tell you back then, it was a racist city. For the things that they did to this man, I'm not going to get into no details because it's graphic, it's too graphic. But if you read the story of what he went through and the racial slurs that he went through for the city of Boston, it's mind-boggling. I look at Muhammad Ali. I look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. People like Martin Luther King Jr., Marcus Garvey. I could go on and on and on. Malcolm X. When is enough going to be enough? But you know what? You wanted a king. You wanted a king. Yeah, I'm getting biblical now. You wanted a king. Now you got yourself a king. And for many of you that don't read the Bible, that have a Bible, go to the first chapter. 1 Samuel 8th chapter, and read that entire chapter 8. You wanted a king. Now you have your king. You read it and you see what happened to the king, King Saul, back then. You so wanted this man to get into office. And you know what? I'm pissed off with the Democrats too. I'm pissed off with the Democrats too because they allowed this to happen.
Don't let me stop. don't let me start with that, especially what happened this week. Don't get me started with that.
Exactly. It's just a crying shame. I don't like talking politics when it comes to sports. Sports just removes the politics, but it has to be talked about. Some of you just go on my page and just read. If you saw the episode of First Take or the Stephen A. Smith show, you would see his take of what he said about Jackie Robinson. It really angers me. It really angers me. This man, I don't care who's listening, what government, our government, what. But you wanted a king, you got yourself a king. Here it is. You have an immigrant coming into this country having possession of our social security number.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, sports. I mean,
he's another story. He's another clown. How do they fit all of those people that you see on TV? How do they fit them all in that one little clown car? That's the mystery I can't get. How do they fit him in that clown car?
I don't know. I just don't know. But I mean, listen. This is what the American people wanted. They don't care if they have a convicted. He's been convicted. And this is what you want. And what does he do? He comes into office and pardons all those people that attacked the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah. Well, one of them went back to jail. I told that story a long time ago when it happened. One of them went back to jail. One got shot and killed by a police officer. And there was one that was at large because he was, I think the story was that he was promoting child porn. No, he was soliciting a minor. Now, I don't know. I haven't heard any more stories about that, whether they apprehended him or not. But those are the three people he pardoned, and of course the other ones as well. They were like, how many people? Like 1,500 people. He pardoned.
Yeah. But this is what this country wanted. This is what America wanted. Now you have it, and I can go on and on about what's to come. Of course, the Almighty God has the last word, of course. And
fortunately, they put back Jackie Robinson's page. They put it back up there because it was so much. They got so much heat. Whoever took it down, government or whatever, whoever took it down, there was so much heat that they started tweeting about it, and they had to put it back. They put it back. And that's what we're supposed to do. All of these things that are happening, you're supposed to fight back. And yeah, exactly. And that just brings me back, which is another story about the Democrats. They caved like an underground cave. What do they call it? Underground mine. They caved like a mine. And I understand no one wants, and I certainly didn't want to shut down. I didn't want to shut down, but you gotta send a message out there, say, hey, we don't want to shut down, but if that's where you want to go, we're willing to fight for it.
It's so sad, but where Social Security is on the line, a lot of stuff is on the line.
Yeah,
on the line, and you know what? The civil rights might be on the line again. The Voters Rights Act might be on the table again.
Well, if there's any word of that, then people are going to prepare for that. That's all I'm saying. People are going to be preparing for it. They're not going to take that. Yeah. None of the American people are going to take that.
Well, I got to say that to all of those who are out there listening, pardon me for the rant, but I'm not apologizing for how I feel.
Right.
So, Mary, I have to apologize to you. I didn't want you to hear that rant, but hope is all is well with you. But I'm just so aggravated. But thank goodness we have sports. Sports, my cure.
And speaking of that, will you be here tomorrow?
I won't be here tomorrow unless there's some kind of switching things that with the switching of the schedule. I'll send you everything. I want to come on because I want to continue this.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. I'm going to continue it until the following week, until so on and so on. But yeah, I'm going.
We'll see what you can do.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, it was nice talking to you about that. And you got to let those things out. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't sports related, but he was a sports icon. So that was worth mentioning.
It's sports related. I just found out about it today.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a chance, go on my Facebook page, my Facebook page, and you see what Stephen A. Smith had to say. He was angry,
Yeah.
But we're going to continue this though. All right.
Absolutely. Okay. We'll catch you back here. Okay.
Take care.
All right. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. I hope he does come back tomorrow because this is not over. They want you to keep your mouth shut. Here on this show, we don't keep our mouths shut. We don't. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. We're not here on this show to bend knees, bow heads, tote that barge, lift that bale, get a little drunk until you land in jail. We're not here for that. And if you think we are, forget about it. That's not happening. Mary, thank you so much for being along with us. I didn't get a chance to say hello to you, but hello, and thank you for being along with us. As for the rest of you guys, too, thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to be here for the balance of the hour, and we invite you to stay with us. We hope that you do stay with us. It's very important that you be with us, and we'll tell you more about tomorrow's show. Brian, hopefully he'll be back on tomorrow's show, which is the coffee hour. We'll talk more about that later, okay? And in the meantime, I think it's about that time to go back in time. And on this day in history, 1854, Boston Public Library opens in Boston, Massachusetts, at the first large free municipal library in the USA. On this day in history, in 1854, Republican Party formally organized in Ripon, Wisconsin. On this day in history, in 1890, General Foundation of Women's Club founded in the United States. On this day in history, in 1906, George Bernard Shaw's play Captain Brassbound's Conversion. Its Conversion premieres in London. On this day in history, in 1911, the Winter Garden Theater opened in New York City. On this day in history, in 1922, WIP-AM radio in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania begins radio transmission. On this day in history, in 1930, American fast food restaurant chain Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, if you will, is founded as Sanders Court and Cafe by Colonel Harlan Sanders in North Corbin, Kentucky. On this day in history, in 1948, the 20th Academy Awards go to Gentleman's Agreement, starring Loretta Young and Ronald Colman. Back in 1965, civil and women's rights activist Dorothy Height has her first column published in the weekly African American newspaper called the New York Amsterdam News. Back in 1967, the Supremes released their single, The Happening. Back in 1974, The Super Cops, directed by Gordon Parks, premieres in New York City. In 1976, American publishing heiress Patty Hearst, convicted of armed robbery for her part in the 1974 California heist. On this day in history, in 1982, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I Love Rock and Roll, goes #1 for 7 weeks. In 1986, New York City passes its first lesbian and gay rights legislation. In 1987, the FDA approves the sale of AZT, that's AIDS treatment. In 1991, Michael Jackson signs a $65 million deal with Sony Records to produce 6 albums. In 2004, Stephen Harper wins the leadership of the newly created Conservative Party of Canada, becoming the party's first leader. In 2018, actress Cynthia Nixon, the actress, announces that she will run for New York governor. In 2019, the Walt Disney Company acquires Rupert Murdoch's 21st Century Fox entertainment business for $71 billion. In 1942, American clarinetist and band leader Benny Goodman weds American socialite Alice Frances Hammond Duckworth until her death in 1978. In 1969, John Lennon weds Japanese artist Yoko Ono until his death in 1980. In 1970, singer David Bowie and British model Angie Barnett got married in London, and they got divorced in 1980. In 1976, rocker Alex Cooper weds choreographer Cheryl Gardner in Acapulco, Mexico. In 1993, talk show host Morton Downey Jr. weds producer Laurie Krebs in Belmore, New York. In 1999, Smallville actress Annette O'Toole weds Laverne and Shirley actor Michael McKean in Los Angeles, California. In 2009, Dawson Creek's actor Kerr Smith divorces actress Harmony Everett after 6 years of marriage. In 1972, actress Marilyn Maxwell dies of a heart attack at the age of 50 years old. In 1988, jazz pianist Gil Evans dies at the age of 75. And country singer Kenny Rogers died on this day in 2020 at the age of 81 years old from natural causes. He was born August 21st, 1938 in Houston, Texas. And that's about it for show business. For the people who follow show business, we thank you for that, for being with us. Listen, if you would like to get in touch with me, by all means, please do. We would love to hear from you. And let me give you my email address. Email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134.
This is the Voice of America, Washington, D.C., signing on.
You are tuned to the Voice of America in Washington.
Time for jazz. Willis Conover in Washington, D.C. with the Voice of America Jazz Hour.
And a good morning to you. This is the Voice of America Breakfast Show. My name is Arbor Johnson, and I'm your host on this Saturday morning. Every day, we're here with this informal program of popular musical entertainment, feature reports on people, places, and events, and a bit of casual conversation.
If you do not know the time for the programs in special English in your area, please write to us for a copy of the VOA program schedule. Our address is The Breakfast Show, Voice of America, Washington, D.C., USA.
Good morning once again. I'm Pat Gates, and you're listening to the Voice of America Breakfast Show.
The news summary from the Voice of America. This is the Voice of America, Washington, D.C., signing off.
I first learned of the Voice of America back when I was in high school in the 1960s. And I learned about that. And back then, you could only get it via shortwave radio. It went all over the world, and all of the military people tuned in for it, like Radio Free Europe and all of those things. And I discovered it back then on shortwave radio. Now, back in those days, we used to buy these radios. And I had this radio that was yay long. and it had a great sound to it. And those radios have different bands on it. You had some of the radios have AM, FM, long wave, short wave, short wave 1, short wave 2, short wave 3. And this radio I had was only an AM, FM shortwave radio. And at night, I used to turn on to shortwave because that's where I was able to get the reception at night instead of during the daytime. You got it vaguely during the daytime, mostly at night. And I tuned into the Voice of America, and religiously, I used to listen to this show called The Breakfast Show. And it had news, entertainment, music, casual conversation, and I patterned myself into broadcasting through this source. Of course, Allan Freed was my hero in radio, but I also patterned myself to this radio station. And it was great. And so now on the 31st of March, it's going to be all over. Now, what's going to take its place? We don't know. Is it going to be all music? We don't know. Maybe it'll be propaganda, because I know that China and Russia are getting a kick out of this. And so maybe that's what it'll come down to. More propaganda, because they're trying to phase out these big companies. NPR was another one that they wanted to touch. I'm not finished with the status on that yet. I'm not sure what's happening with that yet. I will find out more about that. And speaking of demolishing a lot of things, only today he signed an order, an executive order to ban the Department of Education. Now, can you get to that one? And people are demonstrating all over the world, all over the place, all over the cities, from city to city. They're out there. Crowds and crowds holding up signs. And then, as Brian said, they want to do Social Security, they want to do Medicare, they want to do Medicaid, which in the beginning they said, no, we're not going to touch that. Don't worry about that. It's going to be fine. You know, and we've got all of these things coming up, all of these things surrounded. People are waiting on needles and pens, especially people who are collecting government funding and the other government things. Like, of course, women who work, working moms, working dads, depend on these things for their children. When they have to go to work, they leave their children and the education and all of that out the door. You know, so what are you left with? Okay, they want to take down the communication that's been around for over 80 years, Voice of America for over 80 years. And it's going to go silent. If not silent, then something else is going to be on it. I've heard a lot of things that may happen with it, whether it's going to be just all music, and that wouldn't work, all music, you know, or maybe just plain propaganda, maybe from China, maybe from Russia, or all of these other places. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we are losing our allies. One comes to mind is Canada, one of our biggest allies. Another ally that we have is Israel, one of our biggest allies. And Putin, he's playing his game. And while he's playing his game, he's playing Trump more as well. No one wants to admit it, but Trump was being played like a fiddle. I mean, look, they can't even come to agreement. They only came to a 30-day agreement to cease fire. And ceasefire is not the way to end the war. It's not ending the war. It's just ceasefire. For how long? We don't know. When it happens, you know. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's playing them like a fiddle. A lot of things, all of these weird things are going along. They're all going along. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just to change the subject a little bit, I just want to expand on Facebook. I told you about the situation where, you know, I got the notices. I didn't get that notice that I'm looking for just yet, but as you can see, my platform is still here. I also got a notice last night that they're going to delete one of my episodes on let's see, on the 20th of February. 20th of February, which is it's a talkback episode. And then I got a notice today they're going to delete on the 21st my coffee hour episode, following day. Now, I'm not sure why they targeted these 2 days, and I'm trying to find out whether or not if they're going to try to do more, because I did hear that they're going to start deleting episodes of live programs. People, if you're doing live programs, they're going to delete them. We'll see. I'm not going to get paranoid about it, but I did go to those episodes that they're targeting. I'm not sure why they target those particular episodes and those particular days, but I looked back at them, and I said to myself, could it be? Maybe. But just so you'll know, we're going to keep doing this program, and we're going to do it with or without you. And we're not going to hold back our thoughts here. We're going to continue our thoughts. We're not going to lie about it. We're not bending any knees. We're not bowing any heads. We're not kissing any rings or ass. Just so you know, it goes on. So I'll keep you more informed about that as it goes along. Okay. Right now, I am going to give you some movies. I have 3 movies this week that I want to tell you about. And so I'm going to get started with that. Going back to 1959 with Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. And this one is called Some Like It Hot. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can see that Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's a nice time to watch, right? And then we have The Wrong Man. Now, this I like. This is one of those Alfred Hitchcock movies from 1957, starring Henry Fonda, Vera Miles, and Anthony Quayle. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can see that. That's Saturday at 12:15 a.m. Eastern. So that's like Friday night, Saturday morning. You know, if you want to stay up that late and watch it, or you can DVR these movies and watch them at your own time convenience. And also back in 1957, On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando, Carl Malden, and Lee J. Cobb. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So you have those 3 movies that you could watch. And I want to send you to Turner Classic Movies and go down and scroll down the program guide, because there may be other movies that are out there that are available that I didn't mention, only because these are my picks of the week. And you may like them and you want to put them on your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. You can do that. And also, while you're there, you can check out all of the networks. They have network programming, and you have a lot of sporting events, children's program, documentaries, the whole 9 yards. They're all out there. You know, what's on Lifetime? You like those Lifetime movies? You can go to the Lifetime Movie Network channel and check it out, see what's out there, and act accordingly. They're out there. They're very good programs, and they are pay-per-view programs too. You want to get up to date on the movies that are in the theater now without you having to go to the theater and pay all of that money, where you could save that money and pop your own popcorn and eat your own hot dogs. All right, and sit back, relax in the comfort of your home in your favorite easy chair. Right? There you go. Okay, so let me repeat those movies once again. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. First, Some Like It Hot. That's Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. The Wrong Man with Henry Fonda, Vera Miles, and Anthony Quayle. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 12:15 a.m. Eastern. And you have On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando, Carl Malden, and Lee J. Cobb. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And it's all right there on Turner Classic Movies. I hope you get a chance to enjoy all of these movies, and let me know how you like them. I'm pretty sure you like them. Mary, thank you so much for being along, and all of you guys for being along, because I must go right now and leave you, but I will return tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, where we'll get together and have a little coffee on the coffee hour. Hopefully, Brian Kemp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. If not, we have it all covered for you. All you have to do is be here. And then you can meet us back here next week. at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp is sure to be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We look forward to seeing you as well. Enjoy your spring, the first day of spring. Act accordingly when you come to dress, because it may be a little too chilly just to strip down all the way. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back here. Have a great one, a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. We'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host, Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.